But in opposition.
Good morning, Madam Chair and Committee. My name is Ann Block, and I'm a senior staff attorney with the Immigrant Legal Resource Center of ILRC. The ILRC is a national nonprofit that provides critical support at the intersection of criminal and immigration law through legal analysis, policy work, training, and technical assistance. I myself have almost 40 years of experience working in that space and experience working with immigrant survivors of crime, including sex crimes. I'm also a Davis resident and constituent of Senator Cabaldon. The ILRC respectfully opposes AB379 because the bill would subject more people to traumatic ICE arrest, detention, and deportation. We live in a time when the Trump administration is turning the government into a weapon against the people. Yeah. ICE is disappearing our neighbors, devastating our workplaces, arresting political opponents, and holding families.
If you could focus on the fiscal aspects of the bill. I do apologize. We can't litigate, if you will, the policy committees. This is the fiscal.
I understand. Thank you, Madam Chair. There are going to be significant costs in terms of ICE detention and families being separated in California, families going on welfare because of that. That's happening right now, and it would happen even more if this bill passes. We understand the important need to support survivors of sex trafficking, especially minors, which is a significant part of our work as well. But we need to ensure that people aren't being funneled into ICE custody, which is going to increase cost significantly over the state of California and especially for California families. Just to let you know, the immigration consequences of this bill include the probable loss of DACA or Dreamer status, which will affect employers throughout California and their employees as well. It will trigger mandatory ICE detention, inadmissibility and deportability grounds, both for those applying for permanent residency and those potentially who already have legal permanent residence status. This is an example. Let me give you an example of a story. A 30-year-old DACA recipient.
The fiscal aspects of it?
Yes, it will have. It does have fiscal aspects.
It sounds cruel, but that's what this committee looks at. So if you could focus on the fiscal, I would.
Okay. Say someone who's a DACA recipient, 30 years old, a farm worker, we'll call him Jose, assisting his farm labor contractor, which is an important part of California business and California economy, to recruit other workers. This happens all the time in California. Jose drives by an area frequented by sex workers unknowingly and gestures to pedestrians in an attempt to ask them if they need work. Officer is nearby. Jose is arrested under this new provision and pleads to a misdemeanor. As a result, loses his DACA status, loses his employment. The employer loses their employee. He's placed in ICE detention, removal proceedings, and deported. Or Guadalupe, victim of trafficking herself, is seen talking to other sex workers on behalf of her own trafficker, who is coercing her to do that. Convicted, thrown into ICE detention, and becomes deportable, also separated from her family, losing whatever job or employment she has. This is why ILRC strongly opposes AB 379. The bill adds yet another offense that is extremely vague and broad, and which will result in ICE detention, separation of families, loss of employment, and employers' loss of employees. So we urge a no vote. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Maxine Dugan. I'm with the Erotic Service Providers Legal Education and Research Project. I'm a currently working prostitute of 30-plus years and pretty much plan on working as a prostitute for another 30-plus more. Our group opposes this bill because of its fiscal irresponsibility. It has, in many cases, under the courts, under the probation, a bunch of costs that are unknown. So when you're trying to balance the public's safety with trying to bring justice for human trafficking victims, we have to look at the overbroad language of recriminalizing loitering with the intent to commit a commercial sex act, which will sweep up a larger group of people, which will have a large fiscal impact on the courts and on the diversion programs, and that part of the law is very quite possibly unconstitutional. And in fact, in this nicely written analysis could be written as a footnote in a brief in a court hearing to have this particular provision injuncted. So I think that you can look at the $27 million that human trafficking victims are already getting under the Office of Emergency, it's the Victims' Compensation Fund. So you have to look at the balance here against all of these unknown costs against this unconstitutional bill. So that's why we urge you to send this bill back to the drawing board and get some finite answers on some of these unknown costs before you consider passing it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Position.
Hi, my name is Sarah Whipple. I'm with the Sacramento Sex Workers Outreach Project and the Sidewalk Project, representing street-level sex workers and survivors of sex trafficking through on-the-ground services in Sacramento and LA County. Obviously, the bill has real human costs, but there's also quite a significant cost, as you note in your report, to incarceration, both through counties, through the state, and also for individuals. Incarceration significantly disrupts community lives, prevents people from going to their jobs, participating in their communities, and it's a significant cost in an already economically marginalized community. So both Sidewalk Project and Swap Sacramento strongly urge you to oppose.
Thank you very much. Now we're on to the Me Too's. If you could stick name identification and opposition.
Hello, Madam Chair. My name is Jess Torres. I'm with the Survivor Policy Coalition in strong opposition to this bill. I'm also a survivor of human trafficking and nearly deported because of this crime as a minor, so I strongly urge you to
Thank you.
vote no.
Natasha Minsker, Smart Justice California, strongly opposed unless amended.
Thank you very much.
Lee LaChapelle, Coalition to Abolish Slavery and Trafficking, opposed.
Thank you.
Good morning. Glenn Backus for Ella Baker Center for Human Rights and Drug Policy Alliance in opposition.
Thank you.
George Prampton on behalf of ACLU California Action in strong opposition. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Tessa D'Arcangelo ampersand on behalf of Turla in strong opposition. Thank you.
Carmel Judd, Rising Worldwide, and adamantly oppose this. Thank you.
Thank you.
DeRene Manuel, and I do oppose AB 379.
Good morning. I'm Antonia Crane, founder of Stripper Worker Center and Strippers United, along with Stop the Raids and my organizations. We strongly oppose. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Reagan, representing the Sidewalk Project in Los Angeles, as well as the Stripper Co-op and Equity Strippers NoHo, which is the stripper union in Los Angeles. Strongly oppose unless amended.
Thank you very much. Anyone else in opposition? So I understand that the witness in support has now shown up.
That is correct, Madam Chair. And
I'll give that witness an opportunity to make a statement since we allowed the opposition witnesses to testify. We are focusing on the fiscal aspects of the bill.
Good morning and thank you, Chair and members. I'm Chief Jason Salazar, President of the California Police Chiefs Association, which represents your 335 municipal chiefs throughout the state. On behalf of my colleagues, I'm here to convey our support for AB 379 and the destructive fiscal impacts of human trafficking and child sex exploitation. The underlying issues behind this legislation are unfortunately not new, but remain among the oldest and most insidious criminal acts that law enforcement encounters on, sadly, a consistent basis. The psychological, physical harm suffered by victims in these cases is hard to comprehend and strikes at our hearts, especially when many of us parents, encounter children being victimized. One of the greatest costs associated with our anti-human trafficking operations is separating victims from the involved criminal acts. I want to make clear to all of you that it is not our intent or our goal to criminalize the victims in these cases, but to rely on the laws and tools to leverage treatment and services for each individual in need. Ensuring that those exploited are themselves protected and secure is our mission. AB 379 understands this balance, built with equal parts, targeting enforcement and prosecution, alongside funding services for victims. Not only are the provisions of this bill comprehensive, but supportive of each other, focused on creating a significant impact. While there is much work to be done in this space, AB 379 represents a meaningful advancement in the services to fight against human trafficking, and for that reason, on behalf of the California Police Chiefs Association, I urge and I vote. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Bring it back to Department of Finance.
No file at this time, Madam Chair.
Very good. There is a motion. Are there any questions or concerns from the committee? Seeing none, This does, there is a due pass recommendation. We'll allow you to conclude.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Respectfully ask for your aye vote today.
Very good. Please call the roll. Actually, I need a motion. Yes, that's right.
The motion is due pass to the Senate floor. Caballero?
Aye.
Caballero, aye. Ciarto?
Aye.
Ciarto, aye. Cabaldon? Cabaldon, aye. Dolly? Grayson?
Aye.
Grayson, aye. Richardson?
Aye.
Richardson, aye. Wahab? Wahab, aye.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. Appreciate. Thank you all very much for being here today. I appreciate your participation. 6-0, the bill is out.